Welcome to Coaching in Session, where limits end and growth begins.
Hosted by Michael Rearden.
This is your space to challenge the ordinary,
Unlock your potential,
and step boldly into your next chapter.
Your mindset journey continues.
When is the last time you truly looked at what is yours? I'm not talking about merely the things that are in your name. Maybe you own your car, or you own your house, or you own a certain thing. My son, he's still young. And it's funny because he's like arguing with his sister sometimes, like my iPad or my toy. And I basically say, none of these things are yours. You're all mine. I'm just letting you borrow them. And it's so funny because that iPad is actually my iPad. I just gave it to him because I don't use it as much. And I said, well, you can use it for learning. And which he does, right? He loves that thing. And it's funny now because my daughter, she's 1 and she will just watch whatever he's watching, which is not good because the things that she needs to watch right now are very low level stuff like shapes, numbers, and things like that. And he's a little bit more into the emotions and stuff like that. So it's not in alignment. So she has to get her own iPad very soon. But this is all to say that he is thinking like, I need this. This is mine, taking ownership of something, right? And it wasn't truly his. But when we're looking at this idea of the things that are around us, right? I can say this is my keyboard because I bought it. I can say this is my phone because I paid a bill. I can say this is my notebook because I write in it. But at the end of the day, is it truly mine? Now, this is the mindset I want to present to you because I'm going to share with you in just a moment why most of the things we think are just ours because they're right next to us are contradictions. So I have this keyboard. I don't know why I bought it. This phone. I like Android. I like Samsung. So I kind of know why I bought it. This notebook, it's a typical notebook where most therapists and counselors and coaches, they use this type of book. Now, these 3 items, I have many more items around me. This type of ukulele behind me, my other phone, my glasses, all of these things. I got a lot of junk. In my house. And I say that not because I don't use it. I'm just saying that if I lost everything in a fire, I wouldn't go out and replace it the next day. I wouldn't say, well, I need some rubber bands. No, I wouldn't. So I wouldn't say, oh, I need to go get a stapler. No, I wouldn't. I will look at what I needed. I will look at, okay, I need clothes. I need food. I need some way to take a shower or something along those lines, right? To have good hygiene. So I'm just looking at, again, my basic needs. And once your basic needs are met, then we start to elevate from there. Now, sometimes what we do with our basic needs is we say, okay, well, this keyboard, instead of me having all of these letters and numbers, I want to get this thing that makes my wrist rest on this really nice gel thing, right? So now I'm getting a luxury item, right? Because I don't need that gel, right? It'll make me feel better, but I don't need it. This phone, this Samsung phone, cost me $1,200 or something when it first came out. Bought it brand new, right? When it first came out, got it. Now, of course, I know there's plans and there's providers that they can give you the phone for free. But I said, I wanted this phone, right? So I wanted this one, right? Why did I want this one? Well, Samsung, they make good phones, they have good screens, and I just liked the way it was. And I said, okay, well, my user experience has to be really good. But I could have got a brand new phone from T-Mobile, and they can give you a free phone, right? With a 2-year contract or whatever. So I could have got a free phone, whatever T-Mobile gave me. It could have just been, I don't know, Nokia are still phones, or AT&T have phones or whatever, or T-Mobile has their own brand of phones. I could have just took the free phone, but I didn't. So knowing that I wanted something that wasn't free, that would cost me some time, there had to be some level of mindset that made me want to think that way. Like I need this phone versus getting a free phone. Now, of course, I can look at what the phone can do or how powerful it is, and I can look at my needs. And the reality is most people have phones that they're not going to fully utilize. They're not photographers. They're not editors. They just have it because they think they need it, right? It's better to have it than not need it, right? It's just that saying, right? I better have a phone that can take all these wonderful pictures, even though I don't take pictures. I better have this phone that can do editing, even though I don't edit. So it's like you have this power. And it's funny because when the next generation of phone comes out, you know you didn't utilize your phone in the previous generation. And you're over here saying you need the next one, right? It's the next thing you need. So this idea of how the things that are around us are basically saying what we want. Now, let's look at the basic needs again, because this is going to really dive deep to our whole conversation today. All of the things I gave were just the predecessors to the real conversation of whose approval are we looking for? Because if I had that old flip phone from Nokia or whatever, AT&T, maybe my friends would make fun of me. Oh, you got that old rusty old flip phone or whatever. And I mean, flip phones came back for a little bit, but I can say, oh, I got this phone that makes calls and things like that. They're like, come on, man, you got to be more modern. You got to have a smartphone or something, right? So whatever. And I can say, okay, well, I need to get a smartphone because everyone else has smartphones. If I don't have a smartphone, I'll be left out. We can see this happening with teenagers, right? They need to have the latest and greatest phone. Well, the iPhone 17 Pro Max. And if I don't have this phone, my friends will make fun of me. If I don't wear these types of clothings or shoes like the Jordans or the Yeezys, oh, people are going to make fun of me. Because if you go to Ross or Kohl's or Target to get your clothing, people are going to say, whoa, look at this guy. You're not even going to Forever 21 or Hot Topic or whatever the stores are where kids are buying clothes now. And if it's not in alignment with other people, then you're going to feel left out. Now, when I say all this, because when you look in the mirror, you're at one of the clothing stores and you're trying on the shoes and the outfits and everything, and you say, whoa, I look good in this outfit. And you feel confident, you feel strong, you're like, I feel good. But then you go to school, you go to work or something, right? Or you go out on the street and someone says something negative about your attire. And you're like, whoa, I thought I looked good, right? Now, I'm not saying that you are a fashion designer, that you know fashion, you don't know fashion. I'm not saying none of that. But what I will say is that when someone says something negative about something that you love, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like, oh, okay, cool. Thanks for your input. Or do you feel like, whoa, like I thought I was good. Maybe I should change it, right? So now we're changing our life and our circumstances, our lifestyles, livelihoods according to someone else. So we want to make sure that other people might say, oh, you look good versus do I feel good? We are looking for that external validation. Same thing with the cars we drive. I only drive Hondas, right? I can afford a BMW. I can afford a Mercedes. I can afford those. Why do I want it, right? I literally have a $40,000 car sitting in the garage, right? I'm not even driving it right now. Of course, I'm going to call it later. Maybe go somewhere. I was out earlier. I went to the gym. I did some things today with some errands. But guess what? I want my car to be an A to B type of transportation. I don't care if someone sees me. I don't care if someone says something about my car. I'm going to drive Hondas. I just like them, right? They're reliable. They're trusted. They're true. Imagine if you had that in your relationship, reliable, trusted, and true. You'll be happy. You'll be calling, texting me saying, Mike, I love my relationship. It's reliable. It's tested. It's true. I love it. But then you get these Lincolns and you get these Audis and you get these BMWs and you get these Mercedes. And you would think it's a luxury car, but what's so luxury about it? High price tag when you want to get something repaired? Sure, go for it. The reality is most people that get BMWs or get Ferraris or whatever, it's because it's a status symbol. The thing about getting a car like that is that you can get a car like that for pennies compared to a brand new car. Now, this is not a financial podcast where I'm talking about, is it financially better to get a used car, certified used car, or a used car, or a brand new car, right? I'm not saying anything about this, right? I'm just saying that, again, if you get a new car, it's going to be a high price tag. If you get a used car, it's going to be lower. So I can get a used BMW. Maybe I spend $25,000, right? Maybe 30, right? So it's cheaper than me buying a brand new car or a brand new Honda. So I can say, well, I got the status symbol. I got my BMW, right? And I can drive around in my BMW. Everyone will go, oh, you got a BMW, you got a Benz or whatever, you got a Lincoln, you got a whatever, right? And I can say, yeah, I'm cool. But do I feel cool? Right. Maybe on the outside from, people are looking like, oh, this guy is so cool. Think of bullies, right? They look so powerful and they look so strong. But the moment you start to dismantle their mindset and you start to attack their insecurities, either they're going to want to fight you to prove their strength, but then when they lose that, they have nothing. So now their insecurities are in front of everyone, is in front of the world. They do that in order to cover up, to protect themselves. So what we do in order to protect ourselves is that the approval of others helps us understand the validation for ourselves. Because we might not truly understand our identity. We might not truly understand our alignment. We might not truly understand maybe where we want to go in life. But as long as people can see our life to a degree of, okay, they're kind of doing good, they're doing the right thing, right? They're still alive, right? They're above ground. Maybe people can say, this person's doing all right. But the moment someone does something different that's skewed, oh man, we got some problems. They start to wear clothes that are not designer or something, especially if you got all this money. I remember there was a girl, she was talking to a guy, and the guy was just wearing some sweats, maybe some Nike sweats or something. His whole outfit might have cost $80, right? And he was driving like a Lamborghini or something, or a Ferrari. And the girl was like, your car and your clothes don't match. You need to go to Dior. You need to go to Chanel. You need to go spend more money on your clothes. She was basically saying, you can't be in this car with this outfit. Well, I will be in that car if I wanted to drive that car with holes in my clothes and things along those lines, right? So I can literally dress not to impress, because I'm not trying to impress anybody. And we'll get into that in a minute. And I can perfectly feel content, right? I drive cars because I want to get to one destination, or I like them to a certain degree. Some people, they drive cars for status symbols, as I said. Now, when you pull up someplace, right, you're automatically going to be judged by how your stature is. So for me, the color of my skin, the physical shape my body is in, do I have muscles, things along those lines. Again, I'm super tall. I'm 6'4.5". I say I'm 6'4". Like it doesn't matter to me. I understand, like, for guys, like, especially, like, they have this syndrome of they have to be over 6 feet. So they try to give themselves as much height as possible because, again, girls, they like guys who are taller, right? Statistically. So I could say, okay, I have the stature, I have maybe the look, I have the smell, right? Smell good. And then now it's going to be all external, from the car that I drive, the home that I live in, and to the clothes that I'm wearing, right? Everything else could have just been straight up genetics or hygiene, right? Right? You don't want to be looking all raggedy all the time, right? You want to feel good in your skin. You want to say that I look good because I did the things that I needed. I took a shower today, I brushed my teeth today. All of these things are good things. You want to do these things. You're not going to say, well, if I don't want to seek someone's approval, I'm not going to brush my teeth anymore, because what is bad breath to someone else if I'm not looking for their approval? I'm not trying to go that far, right? I'm just trying to help you understand that the house you're living in might be a constitution from someone else. Because you might have said, oh, I need this big old house with these glass windows, and, like, I need to have this elevator and stuff like that. And I'm sure, right? Maybe these things are cool. But do you really need them, right? Like, truly need them? And I think of, like, when you build a home, typically you can build it to your specific desires. But what happens when someone builds a home to their specific desires is that within about 20 years, their desires change. So this means that the desires that you have, or the trends that you have right now, become outdated. Now, of course, we know that the world fluctuates, but if you can create something timeless, why would you not? Now, of course, there's designers out there who know how to create the timeless feel or flow, and they can look back at history or at trends, and they can say that this is tried and true, that no matter where you are, if you wear this, if you do this, if your home is this style, you are going to always find yourself right where you need to be. versus, oh, I need to get these dark cherry wood floors and now they're outdated. And you need to say, oh, I need to get these cement concrete floors and now they're out of trend. So all of these things are to say is that at some point we put something into our mind, into this theory of, okay, what could be or what is, and maybe it wasn't ours to begin with. Because maybe someone said, oh, concrete floors are the best type of floors for a home because they're easy to clean, they're easy to maintain. Cool, right? Maybe you like easy to clean, easy to maintain. Very true, like or similar to the car. I like a car that's reliable and trustworthy and true, right? But then again, when I make a choice, I ask myself this question. Did I do it because I wanted to do it? Or did I do it because I was recommended to do it? What if I said you had to go to the gym? Now, going to the gym, we know is going to be beneficial to your body and your mind. We know this, right? Statistically, we know this. But maybe you have no inkling to look a certain way. You don't care about your physical fitness. If you are 500 pounds obese, you don't care, right? You just are perfectly content in your skin. Now, I'm not saying that there are not going to be people who are 500 pounds obese that do not like themselves, because there's a lot more of them than the people who accept themselves to be 500 pounds obese. Now, sometimes we lie to ourselves. We say, I'm 500 pounds obese. Oh, well, all right, this is my life. This is my circumstance. I'm just going to love me for who I am. I'm beautiful the way I am. I'm beautiful just the way I am. We can lie to ourselves to a certain degree. We can lie to our conscious mind every single day, but our subconscious mind, it knows the truth. It knows the reality. So if we're living in a house that we truly don't care for, if we're in a relationship that we truly don't care for because everyone says that this person is so beautiful or so handsome or so successful, but we can't see it, I mean, who are we trying to impress at the end of the day? Because if you can't be comfortable in your own skin, then what else do you got? Most people, they live in this false reality of themselves. They live in these cookie cutter type apartments. Not saying that they don't like them. They live or they drive a certain type of car. They wear a certain type of clothes. They follow a certain type of trends. Think of all the people on TikTok. And they follow these trends and they do these TikTok dances or challenges. Oh man, I understand like videos. If you do like a video, you can see what's trending and you can follow the algorithm. But people, they literally say, okay, this is a new trend. Let's do this TikTok dance, right? What they're really saying is, hey, look at this trend. It's relevant. I want to be relevant. Whose approval are we truly seeking? Is it all the likes and all our subscribers and all of our fans? Because deep down, even if my podcast wasn't what my podcast is, and let's say my mom is the only one who watches my podcast, right? My mom's the only one who watches my podcast. There's no one else in the world who watches my podcast. All the other countries that say that, listen, don't. It's just my mom traveling the world and playing the podcast in those countries. And it's quite a lot of countries. But what's funny is that I don't care. I appreciate all my listeners. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate all the people who download and subscribe. I love you guys. But if I lost everything, it's okay. If I lost my house, it's okay. If I have life, it's okay. Good, right? I can do it again. I lost my car, right? It's okay. I'll buy a new one, right? And I'm not saying that everyone is in this situation, right? Where they just can do something, right? They can just make something happen, right? Like handle their business. Maybe they lose their house, they lose everything, right? Everything. They were betting on this house. Maybe they lose their car, right? Maybe they're living in their car right now, so they lose everything, right? I'm not saying that you're in a situation right now where you can afford to lose something. But if I lost something, I'll just go back to where I needed to go. I don't need someone else to validate what I'm doing. I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing because it's not what I am anticipating from my actions, right? Think of it this way. I have a gift. It could be this phone. It could be a Christmas gift. And I give you the phone, right? And I say, okay, I'm gonna give you this gift, right? And maybe this gift is very expensive. I spent maybe $1,000 on this gift. And I give you this gift And I go, here you go. Here's your gift, your Christmas gift, right? Or birthday gift or whatever. And in my mind, I'm thinking of what you're going to give me in return. I say, I'm giving you this $1,000 gift and I want you to reciprocate my kindness. That's not a gift no more. That's an obligation to someone else who didn't ask for it. Now, switch over to mindset. What if I said that I show you a persona? I'm a famous hip hop star, or I'm an NBA player, or for ladies, maybe they're Kim Kardashian or something along those lines. And you see what they are, the standard that they are. You have to say, I have to reach that standard. I have to match what they're doing. I have to get the Louis Vuitton. I have to go to Dior. I got to get designer. I have to wear this Tiffany's, whatever it be, right? So all of this is to say that many of the things in the world are not truly ours. This keyboard doesn't matter. My phone, it doesn't matter. I lost my phone today. This was a funny story. My wife stole my phone. She thought it was hers. So she stole my phone. I don't know what she was thinking. She stole my phone. And I was like, where's my phone? I put it right here. And she was like, well, maybe you left it at the gym. I go, it's possible. Maybe I left it at, one of the machines or something. Well, I said, that's not like me, but I said, it's a possibility because I lost my water bottle once at the gym. So I said, okay, where's my phone? Lo and behold, she moved it, right? And she's over here saying, I lost my phone. She misplaced my phone. Well, that's all the same. I need these type of headphones. I need this type of camera. I need this type of medicine or this type of lip gloss or these type of markers. And it's funny because you can even use this mindset for branded goods, right? So Gatorade or Powerade or Prime, which is the Jake Paul, Luke Paul, I think, the Paul brothers, right? We can think of a certain type of clothes. We can think of Apple, Windows, right? Like certain type of operating system. So we can say that this is what we need, right? When I buy my house, I want my house filled with Prime drinks, or I want my house filled with Heinz ketchup, when you can just go get the store brand ketchup, right? Or you can make your own ketchup. It's one of those things of we are consumers at the core, and we will buy anything to make us feel like we belong. We will buy anything that would maybe make us feel like we're desirable, right? And it's so funny because I would rather be a bum, like look bummy, and then for people to say, who's this guy? Let me learn about him, versus this guy looks really interesting because he has all of this jewelry and all of this designer. I want to know who he is, right? They talk about wealth, where they say true wealth is not worn, it's felt, right? It's imagined, right? It's lived. So there's no amount of things that you can buy or show that will show people like, hey, you should approve me because I have this mansion, or I have this type of car, or I wear these type of clothes. It's the millionaire next door that you might not even know about. The CEO in the back of the room wearing shorts and a t-shirt, yet he runs all the suits in the room. Imagine that type of mindset. Imagine what you have to do in order to attain that type of mindset. It's not an easy task to give yourself this power. It's a power. Walking your own path. Maybe in a sense of being alone, where you are more in tune with yourself than the needs of others. Or not the needs of others, but the desires of others. Because the desires of others turns into a need that they feel as if they needed. But again, it's just a false need. It's not true. You don't need the Yeezys. You don't need the Jordans. You don't need the Kobe Bryant jersey, right? Of course, it's going to make you feel good. Of course, it's going to maybe have people look at you and say, wow, you're really good at style. I like your style, right? And then compared to the alternative, a regular guy who dresses with Kohl's or JCPenney attire might not get girls easily. But it's not so much of the clothes and the threads that someone was wearing. I can tell you that for 100%. Yes, you want to smell good. Yes, you want to look decent. But it's about mindset. It's about the game that you play. Now, some people play to win, but most people play to lose. If you're seeking the approval of other people, you're already lost. If you have been influenced by someone else to some degree and you haven't done the work to internalize if this is truly yours, then you're on shaky foundation. Of course, there's going to be things like this Carmex here. I might say someone from my high school might have been using Carmex, and I might have said, oh, look, they're using Carmex. Let me try it out. And I try it out and I like it. I'm not saying that they influenced me from having or not from having this Carmex, because in a sense, they did help me understand that, hey, look at this brand. I can use this brand. But it wasn't until I tried it and I said, I like it. Because if you do something or you are wearing something or you're in a house and it's truly not yours, like you truly don't even see why you need this feature, maybe it's time to walk away. Maybe it's time to dive into your mindset. Maybe it's time to truly ask, what do you want in your life? And of course, if you're a person who's struggling right now, you can reach out to us, revenconcepts.com, get yourself a consultation, learn more about what makes you tick, learn more about maybe some of the approvals that you're living in that are not yours, that are from other people. Because the moment you can relinquish those things in life that are not yours, a weight is lifted from you or off you. And that is what we want. This is where we need to be. We want to be weightless in the sense. We want to be able to fly. We want to be able to be buoyant. We want to be able to move quickly, not in a way where we feel stuck. How many times you ever heard someone say, I feel stuck? Every single day for me, all right? My coaching is about getting people unstuck. Sometimes I think I'm a tow truck driver, all right? I got to get all the people unstuck, but it's the metaphor. It's the life. It's the mind. So get your mind in the right place. Seek something more than just petty approval. Look deeper. Look into your mindset. And then from there, you can figure out what you want in your entire life.